So the nut is off. I think that's a black silicon that's in there. Instead of that, it's just mixed with diesel and it's turned it that colour, because you look at that, that was round the nut as well. That's got like a hint of red. And that's the gear, obviously with no damage to any. It's just a tapered fit, but looks at it. So I'm going to get all that cleaned up. But if you see there, that looks like it's had some sort of red, like Loctite or something. It's like went to like a cement. It's a solid, whatever it was. So whatever it was, it's you can put on tight anyway. So it's like a Loctite or something, cement. So I think I'll just put Loctite on it. I was told 70 Newton meters, so I'll need to confirm that. It should be easy to lock it up to put it on. So obviously that one's going back to wherever, I think, Merck, I think. So that one's going back to Merck. Well, no, it's a seal here that has just failed. I don't know how far that goes in, because it was leaking out of there, that one. The replacement one was leaking when it was in, I think that one. If it was that one, I would have maybe been able to get to it on the van without taking it back out, the second hand one that we got, but it was that one. I couldn't get to it, so we took it back out and confirmed that it was leaking, because it was pouring out it. So, but I will get this swapped onto this new pump. I'm going to clean all that nut up, see if we can get all that crap at it, and take it from there. So, ongoing. Right, so we've cleaned up all the nut. Let's just screw in lovely. You'd think there would be something, but to hold it, no, lock tab, something, split pin, I don't know. I know it is into the gearbox and onto the timing chain, and apparently its design shows that it comes slack and doesn't lock up the engine if the pump locks up. So, but we'll get the new gear on it, well, the old gear swapped onto it. So, brand new, genuine Mercedes fuel pump, some new hoses. You see we had that one rigged up just as a test rig. We had a second hand pump which was no good, so we'll see how long this hose was. See there. So if we cut that out there, should be fine. Yeah, so we'll cut it on that L, and that should ease enough. Should be plenty. We'll change the other hose as well. So there you go. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and have a great day. So new pipe onto there. I elected to go back to Dingo and get a smaller section of pipe. I got 8 and it was just a bit slack, and it didn't matter how much you tightened that up, you could still turn it on that pump. So I don't want any leaks down here when this is all back in. So we're going to now fit the pipe, fit the pump in, we'll put one bolt in it, we'll put the main feed on, and then we'll tighten that back onto the wheel. We'll turn the ignition on and just make sure we've got any leaks. There shouldn't be any leaks now, man. That's a brand new pump, so shouldn't be. So aye, fingers crossed. Right, the faceless man. He creeps me out, so he does. So far so good. So far so good there. Nothing blowing out. Ah, yeah. Nothing blowing out of it. I just need to torque the bolts on it. I didn't want to torque the bolt. I didn't want to do nothing, mate. That's, I think, the 3rd or 4th time now that's been turned over on the ignition. I've not cranked it yet, obviously. We've got a load of bits still to put on it. So I did change the pipes, or change the pipes going to it, so one goes on there or there, whatever way they go. So just wasn't happy with them. They're getting a bit perished anyway, so you can see they've been on and off a few times, so we've changed them. I did have to go back and get some. So there's 8mm, that's for petrol, One of these is for petrol, I can't remember, I think it's that one to be honest with you. The one we had on it, just for testing the pumps, it's for petrol, so we've got the right stuff. It's probably that one over there that's cut now, that's shorter. So 8mm was fine for here, but you can just see this one's slightly smaller. This is obviously the old pump. So this one's slightly smaller, so we went for 6mm. That's incredible, incredibly tight on there for getting that on. But we've got it on, we've got all new clamps on it as well, and we've done that ignition now 4 times, and there's still nothing come out it, so that's good. And I wasn't expecting, surely with a brand new Mercedes pump at fucking £6 million, should have been fine. So, but you never know, I mean, you never know. So I mean, we've been in about moving pipes and stuff like that, and these ones are still the original ones for the van, so you just need to be sure. And I don't want to put all this back again. I don't want to put all this throttle bodies and all that back in, all the gubbins in, and then we end up back in that world of pain. And the guy says to me before, I says, Jim, how the F do you, man? I've got this pump slack, I'm twisting it, I'm turning it, it just does not want to seem to come out. This was when we first tried it. The Sprinter vans I've seen in the past, the fuel pump was here. Now I don't know why they put it in there, maybe only the 906, not sure. So he says it's like giving birth, eventually it will just come out, and I think it's just tight on in that one there, even though I had put a lot of oil around the seal, and I cleaned all the, even though I did that with the, no, that's the 3rd time now, but even before I had cleaned it all, I did it again, I always clean them. I'm like that, I like to clean, so I know that when we push this in, we're not fighting against anything on that seal, you know, rust, crap, whatever it may be. So, and getting this torqued, I don't know what Mercedes use, getting that off, you can still see actually there's some of that Loctite stuff on it. So I've just put Loctite on it, and I did manage to get it torqued to a bit more than what it's meant to be, but I wasn't going to take it back. It took me long enough to get it to lock up in the first place, so a wee bit of a fight on it, so it was. And you can see there's just a wee chip up there, but surely don't know bother with that. So could just be the seal that on this one that was leaking, because it was leaking out of that hole there. I don't know how far that seal goes in, to be honest with you. I'd be curious to pull that seal out, because it doesn't look too difficult to change that. But you know, I'm not a fuel pump guy, I'm not a diesel specialist. It's very easy with the pump out to hook the 2 fuel lines up, put the the feed pipe to the rail off, turn the ignition on, and lo and behold, on the replacement second-hand pump we had a leak as well out of one of these bolt holes. I can't remember exactly what one it was, one of these ones, which I was able to fix, but I mean, this is now its 3rd fuel pump the van, so there's no point in messing about with old second-hand crap. In my opinion, especially if it had a leak, and to be honest I could see the rusty fuel that was coming out it, so no, fuel pump's for sale, there's a leak on it and rust coming out it. I just didn't want to take a chance on it, even if I'd have put it all back in and it ran. Was the guy going to be back here a month, 6 months, a year? You just don't know, and it's like then all that labour again. So this way he's got the brand new pump in there, and you can hear the ignition still buzzing away and there's nothing come out it so far. It is an incredibly oily bugger, this thing, eh? So we're going to get all this running, we'll get the throttle body on it, we'll get the EGRs put back in it, we'll get all the pipes hooked up, and then we'll run it, see what it's doing, we'll clean everything. Guy says there's some degreaser in the back actually, so but I may like to pass the cleaning of this to the car wash guys. Although sometimes you're better just doing it yourself, aren't you? So scrap that. We'll not get the car wash to do it. If we'll maybe do it then, that way we know what we're doing. So so excuse me. So we'll crank it over one more time, just, and I say crank it over, I just mean the ignition. And what we had was during the winter there, well, say during the winter, January, so it's a wee bit warmer now, but for whatever strange reason, don't know why it's so warm at the minute. Well, I say warm, 6 degrees, 5 degrees. So anyway, the car wash, we'd come up and bothered my heater, and we went down, defrosted their car wash, and there was a drum sitting here which the fuel hood went into this van with. So we says take that drum, fill it up with fuel, they replenished the fuel in my heater, and then so that was used up few weeks later, I couldn't bother running to the petrol station to be honest with you to get more diesel, so I knew there was plenty in this at the time, so I took 2 gallon out of it. And what I can tell you is 1 turn of the key, go and boil the kettle, come back once the ignition cycle's stopped, that's half a gallon, turn it again, half a gallon, so that pump in the tank is capable of pumping half a gallon, within minutes, seconds, so it is a high flow pump, although it's just a low fuel pressure pump, certainly it filled a gallon just with 2 turns of the key, so a gallon can, so there you go. So well, that's good news, at least at the pump stand, and I've not seen any low pressure leaks, so and that's what it came in and was recovered in, and just as soon as you turned the ignition on, there was just fuel pouring out everywhere. So thankfully now that seems to be that taken care of, and we just need to get all the gubbins put back in. We've got our new injector washers in there, one's obviously falling underneath, I presume. One's in there somewhere. That's it. So we've got 4 injector washers there, which are the genuine Merc ones. Totally different to any of the ones I've seen, to be honest with you, they're really skinny. So thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, because this spinner's incredibly oily, man. It's making me sad, so if you hit the subscribe, I may feel a bit better about that, okay? So have a great day, okay? That's the door latch with the back door. See if we've left anything off. Shouldn't be any fuel coming out, because there isn't, so there should be, because check, double checked. Right, that's not going to help. Obviously this is just shoved in at the minute. I may need to put it in properly. Okay. Close enough. Oh, it may take a while to pump the fuel up. See what happens. It's been a very long time it started this engine. You can hear the tank in there. The pump tank going. I'll put there. So nobody able to get it to start yet. There's maybe a wee leak on that pipe down there. There's no leaks. I say leak, you can just see it looks a bit wet around where the clamp is on the 2 feeds. Feed and return, sorry. Those big rubber hoses, these are 2 rubber oily looking ones. But we've had the thing cranking over. I need to charge the batteries again. So we've got 1, 2 for the full again. Put it in the condition. Let's see what it does. So I'm back onto that one now, so it was on that one. So we'll charge the battery again overnight, but I'm not getting any fuel up to the rail. I can feel these pressurising when you turn the ignition, so I'm getting fuel up to there now, and I've got no any low pressure leaks. One fault code that wouldn't clear, and just a fault code for low pressure, which I think is just looking at this, that's not in the right place. I've just put as much on just now to get it running. I've just moved that out of the road. I was checking for fuel up at the rail, up at the injectors. I don't seem to have any at the moment, so we did have a low pressure fault code. but I presume on another fault code there which doesn't give me any data on any information on it. So I presume the low pressure is here, that's not seeing fuel in the rail, or rail pressure, whatever one of the sensors is for the rail, which would be there, that one, but I'm not getting any fuel up there at the minute, so that's slack. So it's maybe just going to take a while to get it up, but I thought I'd had it up by now. So we're back on this one tomorrow.